YouTube, how you doing? Murph here, bringing you another product review. Today's review is going to be on the brand new, just released Glorious Model D Wireless. Glorious has made a few updates to their Glorious Model D for this model, other than the fact that obviously this one is wireless. We're going to talk about all of that, but starting off as usual with design and build quality. Just like with their older wired version of this mouse, it's the same size and weight. This mouse is 61 millimeters wide at the front, 67 millimeters wide at the back at its widest point, and 128 millimeters long. And at its tallest point, it's 42 millimeters tall. And this mouse comes in at the same weight of right around 69 grams, so it does have the same dimensions. Also, just like the wired version, this is offered in white and black. However, at release anyways, they could come out with future iterations down the line, but at release, this is only available in matte white and black, whereas their wired version was offered in a glossy white and black as well. Now, this newer wireless version obviously comes with a wireless sensor. It's got very low latency. It does have a USB dongle for that wireless connectivity, so do plan for that and keep that in mind if you're using this on like a laptop with limited amounts of USB ports. The wireless dongle is going to take one of those slots up. As far as build quality is concerned, as usual with Glorious products, it's very good. There's no bending, creaking, or flexing of any of the side panels or top or bottom plates. All of the buttons feel extremely clicky and tactile and responsive. The scroll wheel feels great and does allow you to feel those individual steps in between. And it has very nice glides that come on the bottom of this, and it even comes with additional skates if you do want to increase the surface area of those glides to allow you for a little bit of a smoother experience as well. Also, with the design, you are getting an ergonomic shape here. If you are unfamiliar with the Glorious Model D line, their Glorious Model O is basically more of a typical traditional mouse shape. So you've got one here, as you can see, a little bit more of a traditional shape, and their Glorious Model D is an ergonomic shape, so it really fits into your palm really well. Some people are going to like that, some aren't. That really just comes down to personal preference. If you do like this mouse but you prefer a more traditional shape, the Glorious Model O wireless is going to be the way to go. But this is their ergonomic shape version, and if you like an ergonomic mouse, this is a very good one to get. That hump is definitely a little larger and fits a little bit further into the medial portion of your hand. But I think if you like an ergonomic shaped mouse, that you are not going to have any issues with this. It's very comfortable, very easy to use, and feels really good to hold and game with. Now, other than the fact that this is wireless, obviously, they did upgrade the sensor for this model as well, just like they did a few months back when they released the Glorious Model O wireless. It's got the same BAMF sensor. We all know what BAMF is typically a connotation for, so I won't repeat that here, but they do refer to it as their BAMF sensor, and it is a very good one. It's an upgrade over their previous model in just about every way. This one has a max tracking speed of 400 IPS. It tracks acceleration up to 50 Gs. It's got a pulling rate of 1000 Hertz. It's got a max DPI of 19,000, and it decreases the liftoff distance for this model as well, which you can adjust in the settings through their software. This mouse also features roughly 71 hours of battery life, and I'm going to assume that's with the LED lights turned down and things like that. Typically when they give those numbers, that's like a best case scenario. With both this and the Glorious Model O wireless, I've actually never depleted the battery completely. It always lasts me pretty much all week long before I need to plug it in, and I usually leave it plugged in anyways. The wireless sensor on this is very good, but I always suggest if you're playing anything competitive to just plug it in anyways if that's not going to bother you, because that does eliminate all of the latency involved. But this does have a very good wireless sensor if that's how you're going to use this mouse. Now, as far as software is concerned, Glorious is slowly becoming one of my favorite applications to use. It's right up there with like Razer and Corsair in terms of functionality, ease of use, reliability, things like that. So once you open up the Glorious Core app, this is what you're going to be presented with. Any of their supported gaming peripherals, any of those that are picked up by the software will be right here on the main page. And then you can click on whichever one you're using, You can see here, Glorious Model D wireless, it'll state your firmware version. And then up here on the top, you can select between 3 different profiles. You can also adjust the lighting. It's got multiple different lighting effects, and you can save those and see those on the mouse. Breathing multicolored, breathing single colored. You can change the color of all of these. You can also adjust the rate at which this flashes, and you can adjust the brightness here as well, and you can actually separate these out. So if you want to separate the wired and wireless brightness, you can do that. So let's say wired, you want it around 90%, and then wireless, to conserve battery life, maybe you want to drop that down to like 40 or 50%. You can do that here. And just to the right of that is key binding. This is where you're going to be able to change any of your key bindings if that's what you want to do for any of these buttons. And then to the right of that is performance. This is where you're going to adjust your DPI settings, your liftoff distance. You can adjust the debounce time. And if for some reason you want to drop the polling rate, you can do that as well. So as you can see, everything is laid out very well in the software. It's very easy to use, intuitive. Everything does get saved directly to the mouse. You can set up multiple different profiles. The software for this mouse is really good. Would I recommend buying this mouse? Absolutely. You're getting a high-end mouse at a mid-range price, which is one of the things I love about the Glorious mouse lines. There's certainly cheaper alternatives, but there's far more expensive alternatives as well. You're getting a great wireless sensor in this mouse. You're getting fantastic specifications, great build quality, really great design. These are some of the cleanest gaming mice on the market in my opinion, and for $80, frankly, it's a steal. Now, I would also recommend, if you're looking at the wired version of these, this is $30 more expensive. Their wired versions sell for $50, this is $80. So if you're looking to save a little money, you can definitely go that route. The sensor used even in their older gaming mice are really great. But for an additional $30, even if you're not going to use this wirelessly, you are getting an upgrade over that previous generation, because this does feature that BAMF sensor that is upgraded in just about every single way. So if you're looking for an ergonomic gaming mouse, I can easily recommend this one. With that being said, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys found it useful and helpful. And if you guys want to see any other content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to be notified of when I post new content. YouTube, we'll catch you later.